Hi guys, so today we will see the question number 23, which is to guess a number. So this is a simple game which is guess number. Here what we have to do is randomly generate a number which is unknown to user. So you have to randomly generate one number and then the user needs to guess what is the number. So he may enter anything depending on his guess. Then if the user's guess is wrong, the program should return some sort of indication that how is it wrong, means the number is too high, too low, or near about, something like this we can provide. If user guesses correctly, then we should put an positive indication, means we can write that yes, your guess is correct or something like that. And for this we have to write a function to check if the user input is actually a number, to see the difference between the inputted number and the randomly generated number, and then to compare the numbers. So basically they are asking to create a function for doing playing this game. So in that function we have to check if the user actually has inputted a number, or either he has inputted some string or other value. So if he has done such that, then we have to validate that value. Then we have to see the difference between the inputted value and the randomly generated value, which is our randomly generated value created inside the program. And then we have to compare the numbers. So let's just take this question and head on to our text editor. So just paste this and comment this so that it won't interfere in our code. Then so let's just define a function called as guess number only. So guess underscore number, guess num. So this would be fine. So what will it do? It will first of all generate a random number. So as we know, for generating something randomly, we would need a module called as random. So we can import that and then guess a number. So let's just take the num equal to random dot rand int. So this would take some range. So what we can do is we can take any number between -100 to, let's say, +100. So we'll take a range of minus to +100. You can either change this range, we can provide some kind of parameters here also, which would then define this thing. So let's just take that parameters too. So low equal to -100, I will default this value, and high equal to 100. If user doesn't provide anything, we can take this default values. So let's just modify this case also, low comma high. Now this would automatically generate a number. So let's just print this for the now, for just for checking whether the program is working fine or not. So I will just use the guess num function, and yeah, so I'm getting -26. So let's just take the range 0 to 100, because most of the times the player would get annoyed if we are taking minus numbers. So default would be 0 to 100. So this seems perfect. So he will get some number. So we have to not show this to the user. So we'll just keep the reference of that in the num. After that, what we have to do, we have to ask the user input. So let's just take a while, and let's just keep this true always. So we will go into an infinite loop until the player doesn't returns a correct number. So what we can do is, we can first of all take the player input. So player input equal to integer. We are working with the integer values, so we'll take integer and then convert the input to that. So integer input. So what we will ask is, enter your guess. So enter your guess. So he will enter some guess. So then we have to check if player input, so player underscore input equal to means is equal to our num. So if this is the case, then we will print that congratulations, you guessed Correct. So this will be a message, and we would then break this loop. So means we have found the case. We have the user has found the number. Else what we will do, we will check if num is less than, okay, instead of num, the player input, because we are depending on that. So player input is less than num, so we can print actual number is greater than your guess. So similarly we will check second condition, if player underscore input is greater than the num. So what we can say is actual number is less than your guess. So let's just copy this, and actual number is less than. So this would go on and keep on asking the values, and depending on that we would see. So let's just execute this. So enter your guess. So let's just take 10. So actual number is greater than your guess, so it is greater, so I would put 20. It is then also greater. 30, it is greater. 40, greater. 50, greater. 60, greater. 70, also greater. 80, also greater. 90, also greater. Let's just put 100. Okay, actual number is less than 100. So what we can do is, now we know our number is between 90 to 100. So I can put 95. So actual number is greater than 95. So 97, less than 97. So greater than 95 and less than 97 is only one value, which is 96. So congratulations, you guessed correct, and the program finished. So yeah, this was a simple game, guess number, which we have done. This is all for this lecture. Let's just meet in a next lecture.